Um, Thank you, Johnny and Tanika, for joining us tonight. We have more BFIT people here as students. I'm going to very briefly introduce the BFIT team, and then I'll let Mr. Blair Wang take over. First, my name is Ming Chen. I'm sure I talked to you in the past. I'm the Director of Admissions, and you see Calvin. He's Dean, Associate Dean of Admissions and Recruitment. And we have Maria. She is intern in admissions. She has been, probably she called you too, and emailed you regarding your financial aids. And we also have Sally Hackle. After you join us, she will register you and she will be a success coach. She is the person who will work very closely with you to help you stay on the track and graduate. And last but not least, Department Chair, Mr. Blair Wang. You can take over.
Thank you very much, everyone on the BFIT team, and welcome Joni and Tamika. We were just speaking about how this is finals week. After this week of finals, the next time I'll see the students is when they walk across the stage for graduation. And what a wonderful continuum to have this event tonight and meet students who are just now embarking on that same journey. And I'm very excited for you both. I think about my open house way back in 1978. And that's when I first started thinking about being an optician. Wasn't even sure exactly what the possibilities were as being an optician. I knew the differences between the three different O's in eye care. The ophthalmologist, who is the eye health professional that treats diseases and performs surgery. I think everybody's familiar with the role of the optometrist, who conducts eye exams and gives you a written prescription, and during that exam evaluates the overall health of the eye. They really are the primary care physician of eye health. And then there's opticianry, and that's what we teach here at Ben Franklin in the opticianry department. And that is, think of that as an architect of prescription glasses and contact lenses. I tell our students that to think of themselves as designers in many aspects. They are given a written ophthalmic prescription that basically just is a piece of paper with some numbers on it. And it's the role of the optician to design those numbers, create those numbers, interpret them into a meaningful and attractive pair of glasses that helps people see. So it's been a very rewarding career for me personally, since I became a licensed optician in Massachusetts in 1980. Seems like so long ago, but at the same time, it seems to have gone so quickly. And I've had the pleasure of working with students of opticianry all that time. You know, I also worked in the field, and then later became an educator, and have been here with Ben Franklin since 2006 is when we started the opticianry department at Ben Franklin. And what better place to have an opticianry school than a place that's named after and celebrates the life of the inventor of the bifocal, who's Ben Franklin. So thank you for being here tonight. We're here to give you some information about the profession and our program at Ben Franklin, and also to answer any of your questions. So again, welcome, and I'm so excited for you both. Do we have anybody else joining us, Min, or should I kind of go into some of the details at this point?
You have someone in the room. Do you know who that is?
I think that's my favorite student
Yes, it
of all
is.
times, Jenny Marcelin, who is a graduate of our program and now a assistant director in admissions. So welcome, Jenny.
Thank you, Professor Wong.
I'll let you at some point this evening share your perspectives about as a student in our program.
Okay.
So as I said, opticians are the eye health profession that their specific role is to design prescription glasses and contact lenses. They are the eye health professional of the 3 O's that spends the most time with their patients and customers. It also is probably the most informal or casual relationship and conversation of the different eye health professionals. And all the work that opticians do is in a well-lit environment. It's not a dark, scary room, as sometimes it can be when you're meeting with an ophthalmologist and an optometrist in the eye exam. And it's a fun part because glasses, although they are legally defined by law and regulations as a medical device, they are a high fashion item, and that's very exciting. Our students who graduate from the program have probably 5 or 6, maybe even more jobs to choose from upon graduation. Opticians are in very, very high demand, especially here in the Northeast quadrant of the country. And I also would like to say that probably 75 to 80% of our students already have been working in the field, probably since they were a first-year student, part-time. The way that we organize our curriculum, we try to allow at least one, sometimes some students have as many as 2 days in which to use as study days or to work part-time, and of course on the weekends too. So there are many students who, after their first semester, are comfortable enough to have a part-time job while being a student at Ben Franklin. We encourage that because obviously the best learner is when they're able to directly apply what they learn in class the very next day in a unscripted professional environment under the supervision of mentors in the field. So we work very hard to keep our students connected to the industry. The opticianry program is unique in the country in that it's the only opticianry program in the country that is directly partnered with its state association, the Opticians Association of Massachusetts. In fact, it's the OAM for short that established the program and the relationship with Ben Franklin Institute in 2005. And then we started the first year in 2006. So the OAM brand brings many faculty members. They bring over 40 corporate partners who are partnered to the opticianry program at Ben Franklin. We have over 500 members. So if any of our students wanted to just shadow for a day or a short period of time with an optician in their city or town, we could definitely make those connections for you, just so that you could get a feel for what it's like in the day of an optician. The curriculum is one of the most diverse curriculums on campus, and that certainly you need to know, you learn anatomy of the eye. You learn manufacturing of glasses and contact lenses to the precision of tenths of a millimeter and units of prescription power called diopters. So our glasses and contact lenses are considered optical precision devices. Many of our students will be managing opticals or hopefully owning their own optical business. So we really promote entrepreneurship. Yeah, we have an on-campus clinic that's part of our curriculum. Many of our faculty members own their own businesses. Another aspect of our curriculum is contact lens fitting and design. So you will need to or learn to use biomicroscopes and look into another person's eye, identify all their ocular structures of the eye, layers of the cornea, internal structures of the eye, evaluate the health of the eyelids and eyelashes, the tear film. So that's a highly medical aspect of opticianry, contact lens fitting and design. In running the optical, you need to learn all about how to create an inventory of frames and lenses, incorporating office business systems for accounting, sales forecasting, ordering of supplies, and of course, fashion. So all of our students learn about the latest fashion designers that have ophthalmic eyewear lines. We talk a lot about frame construction and materials, lens materials and construction. So the whole clinical aspect of opticianry is an exciting part of the curriculum. We do have a special program that ties us to the community. We haven't been able to implement that program recently because of the pandemic, but pre-pandemic for many years, decades, we have been providing free prescription eyeglasses to kids in the city. Kids, when I say kids, any kid from Head Start all the way up to age 18. We were in little Head Start programs delivering eyewear and high schools and everything in between. We have a relationship with the program for all-inclusive care for the elderly. So we provided glasses to the elderly who couldn't afford them. And we also had a relationship with the Pine Street Inn. So we're hoping that as the pandemic situation continues to improve, we're back on campus for all of our classes in the fall, that we'll be able to reestablish these programs that we have within the neighborhood and community of Ben Franklin. That's one of the most important missions of the college, that the opticianry program is very proud that we're able to fulfill that mission through our opticianry program, through the gift of vision, especially to those who can't afford it. You know, vision is so important to us all. Ever since you woke up this morning, you experience 85% of the world through your eyes and sight. And as opticians, that is it's such a noble profession, because that's exactly what we do. Our role in eye health is to preserve, protect, restore, and enhance people's vision. And it's a wonderful curriculum that prepares you to do just that. And I'm very proud of our students who have graduated and the students who will walk across the stage on May 14th. They'll embark upon careers that allow them to work in a optical chain like Lens Crafters, Four Eyes, Pearl Vision, Vision Works, to name just a few. There also, we have students, Warby Parker is another one. These are dedicated optical businesses. We also have students who just because of a recent career fair, got a job at Costco. BJ's is another one, Walmart, Macy's, and Target. Now there are department store settings that you could choose to work at as an optician. We have another student who just got a job at a community health center. There are probably about 75 community health centers in and around the city of Boston, and about 80% of them offer optical services. So we have a graduate who works at the Charles River Community Health Center, a graduate who is the manager of the Dorchester House. We just had some recent inquiries from Codman Community Health Center in Dorchester. One of our faculty and also an assistant manager work at South End Community Health Center, so that if you're interested in working in the neighborhood and giving back to your own community, community health centers have provided great optical services to their patients and customers. We have a graduate who's specializing in pediatric opticianry, working at Children's Hospital in Waltham. And so we do have many students who work in hospitals. We have had a student who has worked at Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary and working with low vision. So everyone needs glasses sooner or later in life. And with glasses becoming such a high fashion item that people wear on their face every day, it's not just a medical device anymore like it used to be when I was a kid. And because optician is a licensed profession in Massachusetts, it's just a wonderful profession and a thriving profession. It won't be a question of will you have a job when you graduate. It's which job will you choose, which type of optical environment will you choose to work in. I had an amazing conversation with Lydia Agabi, who graduated in 2012, just last night. Since she's graduated in 2012, her life has totally changed after she was somewhat new to this country when she came in 2012, graduated the opticianry program, got married, bought a house, has a couple kids, and all this time worked her way up through the ranks of lens crafters. And for many years, she has been a lens crafters manager. And with the responsibility of a manager and working at a lens crafters in Natick Mall, those are pretty demanding hours. It's true that there's weekend hours, evening hours, morning hours, so that she was able to raise her family and do all that. But there was always something that she wanted to do more. So she called me last night, thrilled out of her mind, and said, "Professor Wong, guess what I did?" I said, "What did you do?" And she now is the owner of Lydia Optical Designs in Attleboro. It's been open for 6 days. She's already had 8 appointments, and regular patients and customers come in for glasses. And she is just so excited. She's always wanted to, in the back of her mind, own her own business. And an opportunity came up in Attleboro, and she's all excited. She told me she had conversations with the doctors in Attleboro. They had lunch together, and she has built relationships with the most prominent optometrist in town, and she has already sent 8 patients to this doctor for eye exams, and those patients have all come back to her for glasses, and it's just a wonderful relationship, and she's so excited. So the degree opens so many different doors of opportunity to be an optician. And because of the partnership with the Opticians Association of Massachusetts, we're always inviting you to different meetings and conferences, networking with all the industry partners and members of the association. So before you graduate and shortly after you graduate, you will not only graduate from Ben Franklin with a diploma, but you will also be well respected and have many, many, many professional connections in the industry. And that's what's so special about Ben Franklin. It makes us different from any opticianry school in the country. Jenny can tell you that she's been to a national leadership conference because of the Ben Franklin's relationship with the OAM. June 2nd through 5th, we have 3 students from this year's class going to the National Leadership Conference in Orlando on special grants. And that's where they learn to be future leaders of our industry. I'm happy to report that we have 20 members on the board of directors to the Opticians Association of Massachusetts, and half of them are Ben Franklin graduates. It's an amazing story. The OAM didn't start this program because it was going to be the key to their own succession and future leaders. The OAM wanted to give back to the profession by starting a school, and it's just been a wonderful story. Your pathway includes many checkpoints. So the diploma, it's great that these students on May 4th are walking across the stage getting their diploma, but understand that the diploma is not the finish line. To have a successful career as an optician in Massachusetts and several other states throughout the country, we happen to be a licensed state. And so there are many checkpoints along the way. So the requirements to be a licensed optician in Massachusetts are to have a diploma and to have 3 national certifications. One is in ophthalmic prescription spectacle design. Usually our students are taking that after their first year. In fact, I have a review session with many of my first year students who are taking the exam later this week or next week. The second certification is in contact lenses, prescription contact lens fitting and design. Our students take that usually right around graduation, because all of the second year curriculum is contact lens design. And then there's a third national practical exam that's kind of involving your clinical and manufacturing technical skills. And that national certification happens also to be the Massachusetts State License Exam. So when you pass that exam, you not only get a national certification in practical optics, but you also have passed the Massachusetts State Exam. And that practical exam is acknowledged and accepted in 13 other states. So you then would have reciprocity with any of those other states. As a Massachusetts licensed optician, having passed your, it's called the ABO Spectacle Optics National Certification, the NCLE Contact Lens National Certification, and then the ABO Practical Exam, and your diploma. Those four requirements for licensing in Massachusetts are recognized by all the other licensed states in the country. So you would have reciprocity there. The college has a regional accreditation called NECHI, which help me out here, Sally, New England Colleges and Higher Education.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
National regional accreditation, yeah.
Oh, national. Okay, so it's
So
not even New
there's
England.
different, they're national accreditations, but each region has, and this is the New England
Yeah.
higher education accreditation committee.
And they oversee the accreditation of the entire college. However, the opticianry program has a dual accreditation. So we are not only NECHI certified, accredited, but we are also accredited by the Commission on Opticianry Accreditation. There's only about 11 opticianry programs in the entire country that have this highest level of accreditation. And we are one of them. We were last, had our on-site visit in 2018. So we are approved through 2024. Every 6 years is when our professional accreditation is done for the opticianry program. With the COA degree, that is recognized as the highest level of opticianry degrees in the country, and is accepted again in all those licensed states. And the last part of the curriculum is we do have 2 semesters of business. One is a small business management course if you wanted to open up your own shop. It's a great semester-long project of opening your dream optical. So you learn all the details about how to open an optical store from scratch. So Lydia actually used her business plan that she wrote in 2012, expanded upon it, included all of her accomplishments, even those that she accomplished as a student at Ben Franklin. And the whole plan was approved by the bank, which is so exciting. And so we have 2 semesters of business courses as well. The second semester is advanced business management, because we understand not all of our students are going to open their own businesses, and most of them, however, because of the degree, are, if they're going to work in a large business like Lens Crafters or VisionWorks, or they're quickly promoted from a staff optician to a managerial level. I got a call from a former BFIT graduate. Her name's Giselle. And Giselle graduated in 2016, moved to Florida. So her license in Massachusetts transferred to Florida. And she is presenting her business plan to the bank. And so they're very excited to be opening an optical business, her own business in Florida. I don't know if you knew them, Sally and Min, but it's
Yeah, I remember,
Jamie.
I remember her.
Right, I remember
Yeah.
husband Jamie worked with us too, yeah.
Yes. So it was actually Jamie who called me. This is Giselle's husband, who also worked at Ben Franklin in marketing. And Giselle was a student of ours in the opticianry program. And so Jamie is now going to also become a licensed optician in Florida, and they're going to open the optical business together. Husband and wife.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we have some really, really wonderful stories, successes, and I just congratulate Joni and Tamika for taking that first step on that journey. And this is your support team here. You'll meet the rest of the opticianry faculty who are just as dedicated to your successes as am I. Just so that you also know, I am the executive director, have been since 2000 of the Opticians Association of Massachusetts. Kevin Silva, one of our lab teachers, is the current president. George Bork, who was also your dispensing teacher and clinical teacher. He is a past president and current chair of the Guild for the Opticians Association of America. He's the owner of Concord Optical in Concord, Massachusetts. Kevin is the manager of the optical department at South End Community Health Center. We have a doctor of optometry on faculty who does our contact lens laboratory courses, Dr. Joanne Lee, who has a licensed optometric practice in Rhode Island. So she travels in from Providence. And we have a graduate of the program on our faculty from, I think it was 2018. That's Danny Ann. And she's working now in Medford Optical. So we have a very diverse staff and a staff faculty that is really dedicated to not only your education here at Ben Franklin, but very, very involved in the shaping of opticianry as a future profession. So we're very involved locally, regionally, and nationally, as Jenny can tell you. So that's what it's like for me as the program director and overseeing this wonderful program and having the honor and privilege of being involved here at Ben Franklin. I just love the mission of Ben Franklin. I love the support and love that, not just Sally, who's going to be your success coach and really knows the opticianry program inside and out as an advisor, but also career services, the admissions department, financial aid, all of the different departments, health and wellness. Every single department here is really dedicated to your success. So I don't want you to think it's just your teachers. All departments of the faculty, all departments of the college are here to support you. Do you have any quick questions before I turn it over to Sally and Jenny to have them give you their perspective on the opticianry experience? Anything, Tamika or Joni?
At this moment, I have no questions. I'm just really taking in everything. Wow. I'm pretty, I'm actually just amazed just hearing the opportunity. I myself, between wearing contacts and wearing glasses, and I come from a family that, also wear glasses and stuff, and it just never dawned on to me in terms of the time that I go to Vision Works or if I go to LensCrafted, and I see that part. But listening to you speak about like all this wide range of opportunities, I'm just like, oh, there's more to it. You know what I mean? So
There is, yeah.
Wow, like there's a lot of room to grow. So I'm actually excited. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm I'm not nervous, but I'm actually, pretty excited, So I don't have no question for now. So I'm just like soaking in everything, all this like great information and just trying to, just see
That's
the
awesome. And I'm sorry, who's that speaking?
this Tanika.
Nice to meet you, Tamika.
Nice to meet you as well.
What makes you nervous?
Well, for me, as I was talking to Jenny, I think me and her was talking for a good hour, and I was just explaining for myself, this is a big change. I'm switching careers. I've done between education and special education for the past 14 years in terms of being a paraprofessional as well as a job coach, and just being an assistant to a wide range of students from, early childhood to me being for the last 6 years being with the young adults working at Brookline High School. And,
So,
so I enjoy it, but at the same time, I'm looking for a new challenge. So for me, I think when I say I'm nervous, it's just more or less like, okay, well, now just being able to step outside of the world of, a school setting, but as I'm listening to your stories, it still seems um there's still a connection in terms of still caring for people, still
absolutely.
different.
I'm so
So,
glad you said that.
really truly, so listening to, more, I understand like, oh, okay, well, I still can have that experience. I still can have that mission because I love working with people. I love working, with um all ages, all ethnicities. I'm
Mhm.
such a people person. I'm always intrigued in terms of like just learning about the different backgrounds and that sort of thing and stuff. So, um, just knowing that being an opticianary is not just just to give them a pair of glasses or just to give them whatever contacts or just to tell them, it's like no, you can still have um that relationship building aspect of it, because obviously having that good communication, obviously you will want that person to connect with you and hopefully they come back to see you, to continue to, to receive the services. So I'm kind of like putting it, it's two different worlds, but at the same time, it's not really two different worlds because it's still like a little similar, in a lot of ways and stuff. Um, so that's why I mean, in terms of like, I'm excited, but I'm nervous too, just to see like, in terms of like switching up the role, but still having those, my morals, the things that I greatly appreciate, but I know that I can still carry that on into, in um, a different profession, in a different world in terms of opticianry. I never knew, I knew it was broad, but at the same time, I didn't know that it can be kind of like family oriented or like such a, a tight knit, community or network or, it's just amazing just hearing you say like for all the different years or whatever in terms of you having people, former students or graduates or whatever, contacting you and stating all these, accomplishments, which is it's pretty awesome. It's very awesome. So
I think Jenny can tell you that once a student is a student of mine, they're always a student of mine. And so I just love that I still have a great connection to a majority of my graduates.
that's
Well,
awesome.
I shouldn't say my graduates, the QFIT graduates, but they are um, like family. And we see them, they are well connected to the state association. So when they become licensed and they graduate, they become members of the state association. So we see them all the time at the meetings. So that's always really helpful. And you really hit upon, Tamika, on the keyboard, because Calvin, Min, and Jenny are always asking me, who are the best candidates we should seek out for opticianry? Is it someone who is good with their hands and manufacturing, somebody who's really good in technical design, somebody who's a good communicator, um, somebody who knows math and can work for optical formulas? And the answer is always, bring me somebody who's a real good people person. And that's the exact words that you use, Tamika. And if you're concerned at all about not knowing anything about optics coming into this, that's how I was in 1979 when I started. I was in a class of about 18 kids, and I was the only one who didn't have a mom or a dad or uncle in the field in a store waiting for them when they graduated.
Mhm.
So I was quickly nicknamed the optical orphan of the class.
Oh,
And I just, in many ways, it was great because I had no knowledge going in, and where everybody else had worked in their mom or dad's stores. So there were all sorts of different habits developed that needed to be relearned.
okay.
So that's great. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Joni, did you have any questions for me before I turn it over to Sally and Jenny?
No, thank you.
All right, well, welcome. If you think of anything, please feel free to contact us. Sally, do you want to talk about what your experience has been working with the opticianry students and the kinds of support you can offer the students that's not directly related to being a teacher in the classroom, in an opticianry class for them?
Sure. I think that Blair told you and Min has told you, I'm your success coach, or you can think of me as your advisor while you're a student in the program. I am not an optician, nor have I been through the program, although I've learned a bit about it because part of my job in supporting students of the whole school actually is that I help students study sometimes. So I've had opticianry students, my advisees will sometimes come to my office with the practice tests that Professor Wong has given them, and they want me to quiz them. And then we come up with funny little ways to remember things. So I've kind of learned some things about opticianry, but not a lot.
Sally, I think you could pass some of the national certifications because you've helped the students study so much.
I can help them study, but I don't think I can pass anything yet.
It really is amazing the number of hours on a weekly basis. I don't know if Sally keeps track of how many hours she spends coaching and advising the opticianry students. They come to her regularly, freely. They're so comfortable with asking Sally for help. And it's just so great to have another source of academic support that isn't necessarily directly your teacher. Students obviously come to us all the time for private tutoring sessions, but sometimes it's nice to have an academic advisor who's not directly your teacher.
Yeah. So what I do with you though is I will get to know you when it's time to register you for classes, which is coming up, and I may be getting in touch with you very soon to say, let's make a meeting and we'll get you registered for classes. We'll review the curriculum so that you can see what it looks like from the beginning to the end. I want to make sure that you're all set up with your BFIT email, that you're set up with what's called Canvas. That's our learning management system where you'll access all of your classes and your courses and your grades. And basically, while you're a student at BFIT, I'm your go-to person for any other questions that you have. I mean, you can go to anybody at BFIT and they'll help you. And that's really the truth. But as your advisor, please feel free to call me, to text me, to stop by my office, or email me if you have any questions. If you have a question about financial aid, or you have a question about your bill, or you have a question about when's registration for the next semester, or when can I not take this class right now, and how do I work it out with my work schedule? Any of those things, we can work through those things together. And if I don't have the answers, and trust me, I don't have all the answers, I can certainly help you find the person who will help you. My goal is to support you so that you can be successful in the program. If you need other resources that I don't have, like Professor Wong said, we have a great support network at the college. I work very closely with our Director of Wellness, Emma Michalowski. I'm part of Student Services, and we're all made up of people who coach and advise students. I'll work with you on your resume. I'll work with you on getting ready for an interview, so that Professor Wong has a lot of the opticianry connections, and then the Director of Career Services also does, and they pass them to me, and I help connect you to them when I can, if Professor Wong doesn't. So I'm your catch-all support person, and trust me, if I don't hear from you, I will be reaching out to you because I want to make sure you're okay. And Professor Wong and I typically meet every week. We've been doing it virtually now since we've been in the pandemic. We talk on the phone every week. So I get to know you, how you're doing in your classes. If you need a little kick, if you need a little extra support, I'm going to reach out and try to do that and give you that support. And I want to say that I think your key to your success is always to ask questions of your instructors, of me, and of each other. I have found more than any other program at the college, and I'm not sure what it is, whether it's the instructors, Professor Wong's magic soup, I don't know what it is, but not that he cooks soup or anything, but you know, it's a figure of speech. The opticianry students tend to work really well together as a group. They form study groups, they text each other, they call each other, they come down to the Academic Success Center before class, before tests, and study together. Even during the pandemic, when they were coming in just for labs, they would come in and I would talk to them and they'd be sitting down there working together. So it's a tight-knit community at the college, and it's a tight-knit community once you're out in the field. And believe me, everybody that you meet in the field, all you have to say is the name Blair Wong. He's a rock star. Everybody knows him. So you couldn't be in better hands without him, you know, with him. He's just an amazing instructor to have. We're very fortunate to have him at the college, and I'm very fortunate to work with him and with you.
One of the things I just want to embellish upon there, Sally, is not only don't be afraid to ask questions, but especially don't feel embarrassed or uncomfortable in asking for help. You know, we're very supportive, and you know, that may be different for some of our students. Is they don't know how to ask for help. I think that's what Sally and I have found to sometimes be the challenge for some of our students who we recognize, hey, you know, their attendance has dropped off, or they're not doing as well as we feel they could be. And when we get to speaking with them, they tried to do it on their own, or thought they had to do it on their own. And once they realize how approachable the faculty and Sally are to helping them, they're so much more at ease. But that does seem to be, for some of our students, the first challenge is, please, we are totally dedicated to your success. And you know, hopefully your May 14th will soon be in sight for you, and we want you to fulfill that journey, and we're here to help.
Absolutely. We're here for you. Just real quickly, I'll tell you another role that I have at the college, just in case it applies to you. And Tanika, I think it's interesting that you were a paraprofessional, because part of my job at the college, I'm called the director of learning. And what that means is I work with students who perhaps had accommodations or an IEP when they were younger or in high school. So if you know anybody as a student who needs that kind of support, they can come see me. There's no such thing as an IEP in college, but there's certainly ways that you can get accommodations in the classroom to help support you. And my role at the college is to help students with that.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for letting me know that. Yeah.
Oh, I might come to you for some ideas.
There have also been, so all of the national certifications exams have accommodation privileges as well. And so Sally has worked with those students who have learning programs and accommodations, and help them to what are they? Letters of accommodation, needed accommodation for national board exams.
Yeah.
And so Sally's been helpful with the students on that. Anything else, Sally?
I think that's it, unless you have specific questions for me in my role. Just know that I'm here for you. And I think I'll let Jenny talk as a former student, and also someone who I know you both probably met and talked to already.
Yes.
Jenny?
Yes, I did have a talk with Tanika. We probably talked for almost an hour. One thing I want to say, when Tanika mentioned that she's a bit nervous, remember I told you, with the optician, the opportunity is endless. You coming from a system where you work with special need kids. Imagine yourself now you're a licensed optician and you helping those special need kids see. You helping them protect their vision, especially when you have kids like with AGAZ, they can't stay still, don't touch me. And here you are with your skills, right? As a para, and then with the license, being an optician, you come with these two set of skills. You will do wonderful. You will do great. So don't be too nervous.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
then what I want to speak about is, I mean, Sally and Professor Wong said everything already. I'm just reinforcing it on the student side, is at BFIT, you definitely want to be friends with your classmate, because your classmate, they are not just your classmate, they are your future partners, they are your future colleagues, they are your, you know, the optician industry in Massachusetts and maybe around the country. It's very small. We all know each other. We all, even if I don't know someone, I mention the name to Professor Wong, he'll know who I'm talking about. Oh, who did we lost? Oh, Min. Okay. So we are very connected. It's a small industry. So we all know each other, not very well, but we do know each other. Just like if you come to the Optician Association of Massachusetts, you will find me. If you go to the Optician Association of America, you will also find me. So we all know each other. And then when Sally said to be connected with your classmate, it is true, because studying, it can be overwhelming, or it could be, yes, it's easy, but then you're like, huh, what did he say? I don't remember, or I don't understand. You can get your phone, reach out to your group. There's, even now that I'm done with school, we still have that group going on. They will be at work. Who remember how to do this? Do you think this is correct? Do you think, there's always something going on? So you need that support. That support will not just be while you're in school, but it's a lifetime support that you'll have in your classmates. The other thing, support, questions. When I was a student, asked Professor Wong, I always ask questions. I was like a popcorn machine. I'm always asking questions.
Did you ask questions in class? Gee, I don't remember, Jenny.
And then my friends would look at me. As the look they gave me, I understood, okay, Jenny, we need to wrap it up. We need to go. But at the end of the night, they will say, geez, Jenny, thank you. I did not see it that way, but now I understand it better. You know, there's always, so don't be afraid of asking questions. Even if you ask the questions 5 minutes ago, you don't understand it, ask. Because you might think, oh, no, I've been talking too much. But guess what? There's someone in the class who's afraid of asking question, and you asking the question for that person. So the business class, definitely take advantage of it, take it seriously, because as you heard, we do have 2 students who are now their own bosses because of the plan they worked in class. So take that class very seriously. You know, you will learn how to come up with your business from scratch. That will be very, very, very helpful to you. And then I guess what else to say? Stay focused. You know, whenever you have any question, all the teachers, they all available. There's no stupid question. There's no, oh, you just asked that question. There's no such a thing in this department. They all there to support you. We're all there to support you. So welcome on board.
I think we all recognize that, and we respect students for the way and manner that they're most comfortable learning. So there are some students that we know that they learn tactilely, that they're really good when they draw a picture, make a sketch, or can actually feel and touch the lens, or feel the strength of a frame material in their hand. Those are tactile learners. And then we know that there are learners who need an outline. They learn to need a process step by step by step. Otherwise, they don't understand it. So it's orderly and sequential. And so Sally and I and the rest of our faculty respect the students for where their strength is in learning. And as Jenny said, I can alter, and the faculty can alter their teaching style and approach to target a student's specific learning strength. So sometimes when Jenny would ask me a question that she asked me 5 minutes ago, it would signal to the faculty or to me specifically that, oh, let me take a little different approach that maybe is more tactile than sequential, or drawing a sketch instead of doing a formula, or vice versa. And because every student learns the same material from different angles. So our faculty and Sally look at these different teaching angles and just make sure we vary our approach as we get to know the students and their learning style and strengths. So that's what Sally meant when there's ways to remember things, there's ways to learn things, and we just find out what the student's learning strength is, and we kind of adapt our teaching to that. So that's why it was really great that Jenny would ask me the same question 10 times in a row, and I would just keep on changing my approach 10 different times. Then finally it clicked, and it helped all the students in the class. And I know that, Jenny, you weren't just asking for yourself, but you knew that my approach wasn't hitting the mark with some of the other classmates. And
Yes.
so when she talks about friendships and support, it was just great last month when, so when you get your national certifications in your diploma, you apply to the state licensing board, and in an open public virtual meeting, they read off your name as an applicant, a candidate for licensing. They review your Ben Franklin transcript and those 4 certificates. And it was great, just great to, one of our recent graduates got her license a couple months ago. Her name was Charlotte. And then out of the blue, you heard Jenny's voice on virtual go Charlotte, that's great. And I know that you two were classmates and good friends. And it was just great to have Jenny there at the licensing board meeting when they announced Charlotte's license. And those are the kinds of bonds that classmates have in the program, and they're colleagues.
One thing I want to also quickly add is when I came to the program, I could even pronounce the name of the program. I did not know anything about it. All I knew was my pair of glasses. That's all I knew. And then I started in September. By January, I started working part-time in the field.
Mhm.
So that tells you, when you at BFIT, the teachers, the classmates, the staff, everybody is there to support you. And you just have to let yourself be comfortable. Let us help you. Help us help you. And then you will get there.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other questions that we can help you with, Tamika or Joni?
No, not at this moment. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm still soaking everything in. So,
Absolutely.
but I'm looking forward to a new journey. It's been something I kind of put in the back burner, and now I'm just like, no, it's now or never. So I'm looking forward to beginning, upcoming fall and stuff. So.
Well, we look
Do you both have a sheet of paper and a pen? I can give you my cell phone number. If you'd like to give me a call if any questions pop up.
Okay.
My cell phone number is 508 530 1315. 508-530-1315. And my email is B for Blair Wong wong@bfit.edu. And reach out to me at any time.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
And
I also put your info in the chat, Professor Wong.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. I
And
appreciate it.
I'll be reaching out to both of you soon to get you registered and set up for fall.
Looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you.
I probably should let you know that I am legally blind. When I graduated in 1980 and had my dream job working at Brigham and Women's Hospital, seeing post-cataract patients and working with doctors of ophthalmology as a specialized optician. I found out that at age 26, I had this rare eye disease that leads to blindness of all things. And so fortunately, retinitis pigmentosa is a very slow progressing disease. So it gave me enough time to transition my clinical career as an optician to becoming an educator in the same profession. So I've been really blessed all these years to have the opportunity to stay in the profession that I developed such a strong passion for. So I am legally blind, just to let everybody know. And I think because of that, and that I am a teacher of future eye health professionals, probably your most challenging patient will be that patient who knows that they have a profound vision loss of some sort for some reason. And you'll need to kind of coach them through the various transition and changes of their vision and loss of vision, and methods and secrets of adaptation that you can help them with, or connecting them to mobility services and advanced technology that allows them to function pretty much normally in today's world. I think the cell phone is an amazing invention for the visually impaired. My regular cell phone can be adapted to be the tool, my connection to the visual world. And thank goodness I'm living in a day and age when there's so much technology, training, and education available for the visually impaired. So there's no doubt that this has been my calling, and it's kind of a special and unique relationship that I have with my students, that I am not only their teacher of opticianry, but you learn a lot about how to become comfortable and help the visually impaired, who most likely would be your most challenging type of patient. So.
And then one thing that I would like to add to what you just said, Professor Wong, to Tanika and Johnny, because Professor Wong said he's blind, don't think you can fool him. No. And also know that from a former student, he knows his stuff. If he could see, I don't think he would have been such a great teacher. So that's a good thing that he can't see, because guys, he knows everything there is about opticianry, there is about the eyes, everything. So don't let that be a setback for you to hear that. Okay, so you're gonna be amazed when you become his student.
Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It is the truth.
Thank you. So if we don't have any other questions, everyone has Professor Wong's contact information. You can definitely feel free to reach out to admissions or financial aid if you have any questions regarding your status, or if you need any type of update regarding your award letters. And like Sally said, she'll be reaching out to you within the next few weeks once we receive your immunization form. That'll probably be the next thing that we'll be asking for if you've already completed your financial aid. Once we get your immunization form in, then Sally will be reaching out to you to get you onboarded and just acclimated with Benjamin Franklin, as well as register you for classes.